This is the High School Football America podcast for August the 5th, 2020. I'm Jeff Fisher. The High School Football America podcast is brought to you by GameStrat, America's premier sideline instant replay system with outstanding reliability, faster speed than Huddle's sideline, plus GameStrat has awesome customer service, along with different plans priced right for every coach's budget. And right now, GameStrat has special discount pricing, and that will make it cheaper than Huddle's sideline. Plus, GameStrat is making it risk-free. If you make the switch, and there isn't a 2020 season, and we know there's 9 states so far that are in that category, your money will roll right into 2021 with no risk, and you can't beat that. To get a demo, go to GameStrat.com or click on the GameStrat banner ad located on every page of HighSchoolFootballAmerica.com. All right, heading to my home stomping grounds, the state of Pennsylvania. I say it each and every time. I guess I just really never forget where I'm from, and you can take the boy out of Pennsylvania, but not Pennsylvania out of the boy. And I'm always pleased to go back there and talk to coaches and reporters and student athletes, and Bruce Badgley, who has said so many nice things about High School Football America and promoted us on Twitter. He is also creator of Small Player, Big Play, the great app, social media app for youth athletes out there. It's got a great fundraising app, and we're going to talk about that and a lot of things, including Pennsylvania football and what's going on in the Keystone State, because they got a full steam ahead, but there's a lot of leagues out there saying, well, we're going to pull back on that steam and start a little bit later. So Bruce is here to talk about a lot of things, and good to have you on the line for the first time, Bruce, and hopefully you're holding down the fort there in Pennsylvania for us all.
Well, holding down the fort, I think, is appropriate because football is under attack here in Pennsylvania as far as, being able to start on time and everything. So, it's kind of crazy right now. Yeah,
we'll get to that in a little bit, but let's talk about this great app that you have. I know you have a Zoom call tomorrow that people can join on. We want to promote that and let them know because you have some interesting opportunities here with this app for football programs, from the small level right up to the high school, especially if there's no fans in the stands this year, which is kind of up in the air as well in Pennsylvania. So let's talk about Small Player Big Play. It's at smallplayerbigplay.com, folks. You can get to it through all of High School Football America's pages. You'll see their ads there for it. So that's how you can get to them and download the app. But Bruce, let's kind of go 30,000 feet and get the people that don't know about it, knowing about it and interested in it, and tell them how that can help them.
Well, it's pretty incredible. Small Player Big Play is really a combination of 4 of the best social media websites, Instagram and Twitter for social media, and be able to provide your fans information on you, your team, or what have you. And then also Periscope and YouTube. It allows fans to stream games. The games are then archived in the app. But probably the best thing about it is the fact that it's a fundraiser. The streaming allows people to not only, it is a subscription component, but the fan is given the opportunity to direct the funds to the school or club of their choice. So with this social distancing, with the fact that, in youth sports, sometimes the mom is going one way, the dad's going the other. And it allows for really everything down to the youth football level all the way up through high school, an ability to generate money by streaming games and keep everybody informed, like I said, especially in this social distancing world that we're going to be facing.
Yeah, because, and again, maybe I have this wrong. I read so much throughout, but I think the PIAA, the state governing body's edict on the full steam ahead had some benchmarks in there as far as fans, and we know we have it around the country too. So we're going to mix things in, go back and forth between football and the state and your app. So what is the deal in Pennsylvania right now, and then kind of translate that to people around the nation that are listening, so they can maybe adapt this to their program too, especially if fans are not allowed in the stands.
Sure. Pennsylvania had at least for, these outdoor gatherings, a maximum of 250 people. The rule of thumb that we've been going by for the last month here is the fact that there would not be any fans in the stands. So schools have been scrambling because the effect on athletic budgets. I mean, how are you supposed to pay? It's great that, that we're going to play the games, but how are you supposed to pay for all of these, items related to, COVID and social distancing, as well as, the normal athletic budget items. So literally, from your phone or tablet, you have an ability through Small Player Big Play to stream those games, and it's just like buying a ticket. If a fan would go into Small Player Big Play, watch one of the games that's being streamed, the cost to subscribe for a day is roughly the same price as going to a high school sporting event, and then the fan has the ability to direct that money right through the app to that school. So, really, if you think about it, it wouldn't be any different for the athletic department if it did or didn't have fans in the stands, if they would just stream their games on Small Player Big Play.
Yeah, it's a COVID solution, no doubt about that. Bruce Badgley on the line. Small Player Big Play. Go to smallplayerbigplay.com. Like I said, if you don't want to type that in, just click on the banner ads on High School Football America. And again, Bruce, I mentioned that you are Pennsylvania-based, which I love. I love the creativity out of our state there. But this is not just Pennsylvania, right? If you're sitting there listening in California, well, they're not playing until 2021, but let's pick a state that's actually playing. If you're in Texas, where some are playing now and some aren't. So this is national, right? This is not just a Pennsylvania thing.
Correct. I mean, and it's not just football. We were out streaming tennis in Iowa last weekend for the Court of Dreams. They have the Field of Dreams, but they also have the Court of Dreams out in Iowa. We were streaming a fundraising event for the All Iowa Tennis Club. And, it's not only great for athletic departments, it's great for fundraising items as well. It can be directed that way, too, for sporting events. So, and, we've had interest from South Carolina, Texas, Ohio. It's not limited by anything, really. So, and it's not even limited to sports. I mean, you can use the streaming function for any type of school activity that might be social distancing related, like a choral concert or a band concert or what have you, where you would generally have admission, and yet we know that there's going to be social distancing requirements. We're not going to be playing in front of packed houses. So it's really a very easy way, because all it's required is a phone or tablet. The app takes really moments to download. It's very easy to pay via like Apple Pay, Google Pay, and then the money just gets directed right through the app, right to the school that you denote at the time of subscription. So it's made to be easy and allows people to, like I said, contribute to whatever organization they would like to or that we're supporting.
It's such a creative idea. Bruce Badgley on the line. It's Small Player Big Play. In this day and age of social distancing, as Bruce just said, it's real important. And, Bruce, you're talking to, I'm sure, athletic directors and coaches, around the nation. As you said, you're getting a lot of interest in different places. And I think one of the things that's being missed, and I'm directing this to the listeners out there that may not be a coach, may not be a parent with a kid playing sports. This is more than just the casual fan not realizing this. And I'd like for you to expand upon it, because I'm sure you're touching on this, is when football is not played and revenue is not generated as a result of ticket sales and fannies in the seats, that doesn't just affect football. It's like you were talking about before. This isn't just for football. It's for all sports. But all sports suffer because football kind of pays the way for a lot of these. And I'm just curious how much conversation you've had with ADs and that go, wow, this could be a solution in many, many ways to fill that hole in the athletic budget that's going to be caused by not having ticket sales.
Absolutely. I mean, some schools, the light bulb is on. I mean, I'm meeting with the entire coaching staff of Northern York High School this upcoming Saturday, because they realize that. They realize it's a very easy solution to do that, too. Look, it's not the equivalent of putting on like an ESPN broadcast. I mean, I'm not trying to portray that as what the app does. What the app does is just what you said. Allows all sports to be revenue generating just from your phone or tablet. And it accomplishes what, schools are trying to do. And I think the fans will understand as well, is that this is a way that through these very difficult times that you can still support, your school, still support your club, still support your organization. And it still gives you quite honestly, it still gives schools, clubs, and what have you, the opportunity to dress it up too. I mean, we did play-by-play in color with our, tennis broadcasts all summer long. And, with really any peripheral that you can, plug into your phone, you can create a broadcast. And so it allows for creativity, and it allows for schools to generate money from, the sports that aren't, ticketed, so to speak, as the revenue generators.
Well, it's just so timely at this point, and sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle, right, Bruce? That's a little bit of what's going on here. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I'm hoping it's that big old lightning bolt that you're catching there, because that's a good thing. Talk a little bit about now if you've had people out there listening, coaches, fans. Let's talk about tomorrow's Zoom, what you're doing to educate, because I'm assuming you're going to be spending a lot of time here as we go into whatever the season is as far as the start date, educating people. So if people are interested in hearing about Small Player, Big Play, what are you going to do tomorrow? How can they get in touch with you to get a link to be involved?
Well, the easiest way is to just DM me at small_play. That's our Twitter handle. And we'll send you out a link to the Zoom. In the Zoom, we're going to detail exactly, what it means to the school and how to do it. And quite honestly, it's not a long presentation, because Small Player, Big Play is designed to be very easy. And it's not only, related to, the schools or what have you, but if there's media partners out there that are interested in incorporating this. I mean, I saw a big thing in Ohio yesterday where, Ohio said that, schools can go ahead and, charge for games and what have you. So, we're interested in getting in touch with media partners that are doing games, because quite honestly, how's a school supposed to, a lot of schools are streaming games, but, if they're not generating any money from those streaming opportunities, this year, then, that's really bad. I mean, they've got to be able to generate money somehow. And the easy way, without any long-term contracts, without any upfront costs, there's none of that. It's just very easy. You just pull out the app on your phone or tablet, plug in some external microphones, and you've got a broadcast. And that's really what it's designed to do.
And if you're listening to High School Football America on iHeartRadio or iTunes, Apple, well, it's now not iTunes anymore, it's Apple Podcasts, but go to highschoolfootballamerica.com. We'll have a story up there with Bruce's interview, and then all the links so you can click through and get that DM to him. The other thing that comes to my mind, Bruce, before we kind of switch to kind of Pennsylvania football in general is, and I know you've experienced this, it's one of the reasons we try to help as much as we can, is one of the things that's being lost, and it was way before COVID, it's due to budget cuts and all that, is the local sports reporter, right? And you're one of those guys. I started out as one of those guys. So critical, telling about our student athletes, our coaches, our teams, and our communities. We're losing those things. And I think, Small Player, Big Play can kind of fill that gap a little bit, right? I'm not talking that you're going to be able to write a story. The app's not going to write a story, but it gives the local fan the opportunity to see that local team that they've loved and no longer get, in the local newspapers and such. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. And along with that, too, it gives local guys an opportunity. You put together all these fundraisers this year to get these guys paid to do that. Quite honestly, Small Player, Big Play allows the local guy that if he's got a following, to try and dollarize that. It allows for uploading a video as well as long as streaming. So if a guy wants to put together, a sports show, he can upload it into the app, he can get, if there's loyal followers, they can subscribe. And then, the sports reporter has an opportunity to dollarize then, his following. I mean, my sports talk show that I have, Fresh Set of Downs, with my buddy Daryl Daniel, we're going to put that in Small Player, Big Play. I know that I've got a good friend of mine from the Philly area, has a great Penn State show. He's going to put that in the app this year. So, it's very, very flexible, and for reporters, for people that follow sports, that want to dollarize this content, and especially now, it gives them that vehicle to try and do that.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea with a lot of flexibility. Small Player, Big Play. Bruce Badgley on the line, and Bruce, I think I forgot to ask you, what time is the Zoom tomorrow on Thursday?
It's at 11 a.m. And if for some reason somebody can't make it at 11 a.m., I'm more than happy to set up private Zooms with people as well, or if they have any detailed questions. I've got some schools here now that are we're going to be doing some direct meetings either via Zoom or in person. Like I said, I've got some meetings here. We've got schools that have already committed and everything else. So it will do what it takes to get them on board. I
love the entrepreneurism that you have there. I'm going to have you take off the Small Player, Big Play hat right now and flip on your You Love Pennsylvania football hat. As we said at the top, the state, the PIAA says, yep, you can full steam ahead. Acclimation, August 10, full pads, August 17. I'm sitting there reading that going, wow, this sounds pretty good. And then all of a sudden I see the powerful WPIAL say, well, we're going to cancel the first 3 weeks. I see my East Penn Conference yesterday say, well, we're waiting until October. So what the heck is going on there? Explain it to the listeners around the nation how August 10th really isn't August 10th for everyone.
Yeah, really, quite honestly, a lot of people got blindsided. Everybody was worried about, when we were given the go-ahead by the PIAA, full steam ahead, everybody was really focusing on, they put together, petitions to the governor, say, hey, let fans come to the games, yada, yada, yada. And then, wow, out of left field, I think the first shoe that dropped was Norristown basically just canceled fall sports. Mm-hmm. And then, just as you spoke about, the WPIAL, for our national listeners there, which is the very powerful conference around the Pittsburgh area, one of the hotbeds of football here in Pennsylvania, they moved their start to September 11th, and they're going to complete their season October 23rd. Then, just like you talked about, the EPC, which is Allentown area, now they're not starting till October 2nd, and they're going to have a 5-game season. Then you've got other leagues like in the coal regions where they take a vote and they say, "Hey, we're full steam ahead." Well, and then the dominoes just keep falling all over the place. The Interathletic League, which is a very highly respected league that is around an independent league of the PIAA, they moved their start date back to September 14th. Well, then that affected all the Philadelphia Catholic League teams, like St. Joe Prep is a national powerhouse. They've got holes in their schedule. And then the also on a national scale, the Archdiocese of Philadelphia said that, you guys can't go ahead and travel around the country. You got to stay local. So that impacted St. Joe Prep. We couldn't even locally here come to a consensus in my Berks League on what to do yesterday. There were some that wanted to cancel, move out. The Lancaster Lebanon League, is working on that. Another very powerful conference, the Mid-Penn Conference, moved everything back to start practice on September 4th with their games on September 28th. So through that whole process there, I've tweeted it out. I mean, it's dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria right now. And it's something that people really did not see coming. Mm-hmm. And, I think, I'll be honest with you, I think that if people knew what was going to happen for fall sports, I think people would have been a bit more, looking at spring
right.
and a meaningful season rather than just total chaos and everything else for the fall.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Bruce, does this now mean that the PIAA re-examines and Pennsylvania becomes, well, there's 9 states right now that have moved to next year, number 10? I mean, is that kind of where we're headed with this? I mean, I know it's a mess and you're just speculating, but I'm just curious, you know what you're talking about there. So what does your gut tell you is going to happen?
I wouldn't think that that's even an option. I think that the final decision was made by the PIAA that we're full steam ahead for the fall. And when that decision was made, then, educators had to do what they needed to do. And I wouldn't view, unless something, comes in at, and I'll never say never, but unless something comes in at, at 11:59 here, I have not seen anything anywhere that a spring option is even been discussed, or it's been dismissed. They went with the decision to go fall, and now this is the result. So,
yeah, probably somewhere in there is we reserve the right. Just out of curiosity, too, and again, I haven't read all the articles around the state, but I'm assuming these dates that we've just said there for out west and the EPC and all that, those dates are not etched in stone, right? That's what they hope, but we're still only talking a matter of 6, 7, 8 weeks, so that can all change, right? I mean, it could be where WPIAL says, nah, we're not playing this year. Same thing with East Penn. I mean, that can all happen, correct? It's not like
I would expect that's an option. I really do. I mean, considering what we see going on, I mean. And here's the other thing too that's very disturbing is that when the PIAA said, hey, we're full steam for the fall, all these athletic directors have everything in place. I mean, you don't just come up with a football schedule in a matter of minutes. I mean, it's months of planning and what have you. And I know how difficult it is for these athletic directors. And and I see some of these just tweets go out there about, well, this has got canceled, so now we're trying to figure out what to do. And the thing is that in certain leagues, when you talk about your East Penn Conference, I mean, there was really no debate to do this. I mean, the vote was 18-0. So there's complete consensus with this. Now, I'm not, in the reports that I'm seeing on what's going on with the Lancaster-Lebanon League and also the Berks League, there's a lot of emotion, and there's no consensus. So that's the troubling thing is in some areas, hey, this is a done deal. In other areas, they're totally opposite. Yeah, we're going full steam with the fall schedule. And in other places, it's just we can't make up our mind. So, I mean, wow, it's just really bad.
And Bruce, one of the things is these are the athletic directors that are making these decisions in the votes, right? What's your sense, coach AD situation there, right? When I'm talking to people, coaches want to go, right? And then we've got ADs and school officials making that. What's really happening in Pennsylvania when it comes to that?
I think a lot of this change is being driven from the administrative level. It's one where, and even the governor too points to the fact that, if you're running schools virtual, how are you supposed to run an athletic program? I mean, if you're deeming that it's not safe for kids to go to school, how are you supposed to go out and play football?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so look, I understand. Okay. But wow, I just wish that, it just doesn't look like there was any communication when this decision was made to go forward with the individual schools that were going to implement this. I'll be honest with you. I think if the PIAA knew that this was going to happen, that they would at least try to come up with something for the spring. I can't believe that they wanted anything like this. And in talking with some administrators on the district level, and stuff. I don't think they knew this was coming.
Well, I think in some ways, and this is my opinion, I don't know, because I think this about a bunch of states right now. It was kind of a kick the can type of thing, and then hey, it's all we said yes, and if everybody else decides no, well, it ain't our fault. Go complain to your individual school district. That's the way.
Totally agree with you, Jeff. I mean, they just said, hey, we're going forward. I quite honestly, I don't believe the PIAA. If somebody was going to change that, it was either going to be the governor or somebody else, but it wasn't going to be the PIAA.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
And that's what's happening. And because there wasn't clear direction, now it's just a mess.
Right. And now we know who also suffers from that, and that's the kids, the coaches, the programs, the communities. It is a mess. Bruce Badgley on the line. Before we let you go, Bruce, take off that football hat now, the media guy hat, and go back to small player, big play. You've got a Zoom tomorrow. Tell people why they should tune in and how small player, big play may be a solution, especially if people cannot sit in the stands, and it's a fundraising way to get some money into the coffers.
Yeah, it's very easy from your phone or tablet. It gives you the ability to generate revenue for your club or organization. There's zero upfront cost. Literally, with a good internet connection, you sit down with your phone, and we'll help publicize it too. If you let us know that you're doing these events, we'll help publicize it on social media, with advertising and what have you, to try and boost your revenue as well. So, I mean, we average better than 80% return on the funds that come to us that will go back to the school and everything else. So
perfect. Well, Bruce, we really appreciate you being a partner here. We think this interview here will give people some opportunities and some hope when it comes to filling up some shortfalls there, and look forward to having you back on and talking a little bit more about this so people can understand there is some solutions out there given the current environment of what can and can't happen when it comes to high school sports. So best of luck with everything, and appreciate you coming on today with us.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. Always a pleasure.
And don't forget to check out High School Football America on all of our social media platforms. The Twitter handle, it's HSFB America, and on Facebook and on Instagram, it's High School Football America. Go to facebook.com/High School Football America to keep up with us on Facebook. Like us there. We're heading toward 3,000 likes, and we appreciate each and every one of you. That is the High School Football America podcast, and it's brought to you by what we've just been talking about, the great new app, Small Player, Big Play, an age-appropriate, sports-focused social media platform that is designed to showcase and connect the young athletes and their friends, their parents, and their coaches. On Small Player, Big Play, young athletes have the ability to utilize the app and share interest and accomplishments, and it's in a highly secure and a very safe social media environment. It features live streaming and game day highlights, and as you heard Bruce just talk about, it has lucrative fundraising opportunities for your school and your team. Download the Small Player Big Play app on Google Play and the Apple App Store. And don't forget to go to highschoolfootballamerica.com to get all the information on how you can check out Small Player Big Plays Zoomcast tomorrow that will teach you how to use this platform and make money for your team, for your school. It's a great way to showcase all of the student athletes, especially if fans are not allowed into the games this year, and it's not just football. So check it out. Go to smallplayerbigplay.com. That's today's High School Football America podcast. I'm Jeff Fisher.